Okay, so this is our first real episode of the podcast, Sanity Savers After Sexual Betrayal. I
Yeah,
am
welcome.
Adria Sullivan, and I have Dr. Trish Leigh here.
Yeah, hello. Hi.
So we thought we'd come on and just tell you what the heck we're doing and why we're doing it. So, Trish, do you want to take
Yeah,
over first?
I do. Yeah. So I'll just kind of introduce the concept of why we're here, and I'll tell a little bit about my background in the short run too, and hopefully do it concisely. So my background is I am a cognitive neuroscientist. My background is wide and varied. I have a lot of different educational degrees and certifications, but basically they culminate in I've been thinking about brains and behavior and interpersonal relationships for a very long time. And about 5 years ago, I was inspired, we can talk about that a different day, to dig deep into pornography and sexual addiction, which I firmly believe, and honestly, a lot of other people, and we can talk about that a different time too, in addiction space, believe that sexual addiction is the most dangerous brain situation that we have going right now, and it's going to consume so many people. So we're here for the work for the people who are already impacted by it, but our kids are at a very dangerous point with their phones in their pockets, and porn and sex being the most dopamine producing activity out there. And when you use in sex, at least in a healthy way, it's a beautiful thing. But when it's not in a healthy way, it's very dangerous. So when I figured this out, I couldn't not dedicate myself to it. I literally transitioned myself out of my private practice in Chapel Hill to work on this full time. And I started creating free content to educate, motivate, inspire men to leave pornography and sexual acting out behind, going right to the root there of people. And I developed a program called Porn Brain Reboot, which exists at different levels. There's a small, medium, and a large program, depending upon what people are looking for, what they can handle in terms of their resources, their time, their money, and their energy. Um, and I have a lot of people in those programs right now.
Mhm.
Then what happened is there's so many partners out there that are on my YouTube channel who reach out to me and they're just seriously distraught. And I don't have a program, and we will soon, but I don't have a program at that point to serve women. So I would have consultations and try to talk people off a ledge and give them hope. And Adria and I had talked probably like, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 years ago about collaborating because we're both brain-based, people who want to help others become the best versions of themselves. So Adria kept popping into my mind, and I reached out to you a couple times by email. I'm like, I got this thing going. Maybe would you like to join me on it? And then a couple months later, I'm like, seriously, I'm doing this thing because of course things take time to develop. And finally, Adria's like, maybe I'll think about doing this thing with you. And this idea for Sanity Savers was born. And the reason, I mean, I've always thought you're a skilled therapist and thinking about neurofeedback and all of that. But the reason that I really was excited about is because you've been working with women in a group capacity for a long time. And I said, my heart is in helping men leave this behind. And your heart is in helping women to be able to become healthy and feel confident and feel good about themselves. And people don't share that this stuff is happening to them. They don't
Right.
want to tell people, my husband had an affair. My husband's addicted to pornography. I see my husband checking women out all the time, and it absolutely drives me nuts, and I don't know how to stop it. So we together are going to be the place for those women.
Absolutely. Yep. So, um, I am a mental health counselor and I have a private practice here in North Carolina. And like she said, that has been on my heart forever is to just help people live their very best life. That I fully believe that that means your body, your mind, your relationship. And in sessions with people, I am that person that asks these strange questions that they're like, wait, I thought I came to counseling. Why are you asking me what I'm eating? And why are you, why did you ask if I'm watching porn?
Yeah, yeah,
It's like,
exactly.
because sometimes when things don't make sense, it's
Mhm,
because there's something else that people might not even think to share. And that is destructive. And when, the stars truly aligned, when, probably for the fourth time, you asked if I would help with something. And I was like, yes,
yeah,
this one, yes,
yeah.
absolutely. Because, it definitely was, I mean, a answer to prayers that I had truly prayed, how can I help people? How can I help marriages? And
Mhm,
so, I think that's something that I want to point out is that, we are here to help marriages stay together.
mhm, mhm,
Now, on this podcast, I am going to bring on other women who may have chosen to leave, may have chosen to stay. That is just because it's all important and nobody's being judged. Everybody has a different story to tell, and there's power and purpose between or behind all of it. So, you
Yeah, and
know,
healthy marriages, keeping healthy marriages
yes,
together. And the
healthy
journey
marriages.
is going from an unhealthy marriage to a healthy marriage.
Yeah,
And when that can be accomplished, that's liquid gold, right? That's the sweet spot of what we're trying to do here. But if
right.
people can't do that, then there's other options. But no matter what, you end up on the other side, stronger, more confident, healthier, and you can make the decisions that you need to for sure.
Right, right. Um, and we will be working through, what does that journey look like? How do you heal? How do you have any idea how, or if it's possible to heal?
Mhm.
Helping from the brain perspective on what is actually going on. Why does my partner feel this desire to continue to do that? Why don't they just tell me the whole truth and nothing but the truth the moment I
Mhm.
ask them?
Yeah, and
um,
and I want people to know, if you stay on this podcast, you are going to learn more about the inner workings of your partner than your partner probably knows, for
yes.
real. And don't share that with him, because I tell you, they don't like it when you tell them that. But that's what I'm trying to do with the men that I work with and on my YouTube channel. And it's a beautiful thing. People write the comments all the time. They're like, "Oh my gosh, I did not know that that was happening to me, within me. Now that I
Right.
know that." And so I always write back, knowledge is power, and you are now a powerful man. So let's do
Yep.
this thing, because that's what we're going to do here for women. And in the hopes of, and we're going to cross this bridge too, building compassion and empathy, not only for your partner, but for yourself. And you
Right.
need that to be able to grow and to heal and to have a healthy relationship.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. I was just thinking, like, try being married to one of us.
Oh my gosh. I know.
Like,
My
oh,
husband
you
says all
think
the
you know
time,
you?
yeah, don't teach me. Don't teach me something. So it's so funny because I'll go, you know what? I just read this book and I learned this. Can I tell you about it? I could see it in his eyes like, absolutely not. I'm like, I promise I'll just tell you one thing for 1 second, which is always, mind blowing. But he will say to me, you think you know more about me than I do. And I'll walk away like, yeah, bro, yeah, I
Yeah,
do, but I'm not
I
gonna
absolutely do.
but I'm not gonna share that with you. But yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Um, okay, so that is what is in store for all of our beautiful listeners here.
Yeah, and I wanted to point out too, we're both
Yeah,
moms. We're both moms. We have incredible
so
insight
true.
into this journey. We're going to share, a lot of experiences from our own relationships, from, raising kids within this situation, stories of, thousands of people that we've worked with, and through our stories and our journeys and anecdotally and the neuroscience and everything we're going to share with you, it's going to come together and you're going to have the support that you need. And that's what this podcast is about, and that's what the program that we are putting together, and it's just about a real thing, which is amazing. So we're here for that. That's what we're here for.
Absolutely. So actually, before we do end this first episode,
Mhm.
um, I think that's the reason we created this program is because there's always been this missing link. to recovery from any addiction. That, a lot of the times there's a 12-step program, or,
Yeah.
the addict gets to heal, they get to go through this. And then I've heard it from women that, well, they get to go through this program and I'm stuck with this for the rest of my life.
Yep.
Right. And so that's where we're bridging this gap is, no, you now have your own healing program to go through, which if you choose to go through both of ours, it's they're not side by sides mimicking each other, but you will get to learn the same
Mhm.
information in a different way that pertains to your healing journey in the same format.
Yeah, they're
Um,
congruent
yes,
completely and synergistic. They work together. And that
that's
is important
it
because
is.
I've worked in a lot of the programs and I have experience with many of the programs out there, and they serve some people, but in my opinion, they're lacking pieces that are absolutely fundamental for long-term successful healing from sexual betrayal for both people. And I feel really lucky that I spent a lot of time and energy learning all these various pieces. And, when this came to me, it landed in my lap, literally like thud in my lap. And I had to get quiet and go, this is my lap. What am I going to do with this? But what I came to is I am literally the perfect person for this. I've been preparing for this journey for like 30 years without even knowing it. So,
Right.
and that's why I'm like, I'm here for this. And, my heart is with the men who struggle with
Yep.
this and how much they're just damaging their own brains, destroying their own lives and destroying their relationships and hurting the women that they love. And they don't mean to, and they can't stop. And so, that's where I'm at. And then, Adria is here for the women who your heart's always been in that place. So I
Yep.
think it's amazing. I'm so psyched.
We got you.
Yeah, and then in the
Aw.
future, we're working on having a program for partners to work together also, because, you know, like Adria said, this journey is, you have your own journey and then your partner has his recovery journey, but that has to intersect, especially when it comes to interactional styles and communication. I think that that's where couples struggle the most, where you're on your own journey and you're learning and you're growing and you're feeling better, but then you don't know how to communicate that to your partner in a healthy way, and then your partner's learning how to communicate, but learning it and doing it are two different things. So kind of bridging that gap and having a piece in place, that's, I think, the last missing piece of our puzzle, and we're working on that too.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Okay.
So
So tell everybody the current website that they can go to. And later we will have one, sanityafterbetrayal.com.
yep, and
Um,
you can look for that soon. We're about to develop it.
yep.
So note that in your mind. But at my name, drtrishleigh.com, which is easy, up at the top is a link, which will be there forever, that says partners. And so it's easy peasy, because if you don't remember what the program's called and you don't remember what the website's called, but you remember my name, you can find it there, and the homepage pops up. You hit partners and it'll redirect you right through to Sanity After Betrayal. And Adria came up with the name Sanity Savers for her original program, which, then I texted her, I'm like, what do you think about, borrowing Sanity Savers and, Sanity After Betrayal? Holding on to our sanity in this situation is what we're here for, with two hands at first, but then growing and not needing to
Yes.
have that grip on it as much in
Right.
the end.
Right. Yep. Perfect. And the link will be posted below too.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. We'll have the
um,
link hopefully all over the world once we get rolling.
all over the world. And do make sure you are hitting subscribe. And if you love this, leave us a review. That would be very much appreciated.
Yeah, and stay tuned if you are here on this initial podcast, because Adrian and I keep talking. We have the digital program that we've created, and that's going to be available. But Adrian in particular has so many ideas for smaller workshops. And so we already have small workshop plans that are niche types of concepts. So if the main digital program and coaching doesn't feel like the move for you right now, there will be a workshop on how to talk to your kids. There will be a workshop on meditation to create the time and space to be able to tap into intuition. I can't remember the other ones right now, but
We have
right, a relationship reboot. We already named that
Yep.
one, that we're going to have a really great one on how you do approach your partner for healthy communication and interactional styles. And they'll be smaller, affordable, easy to digest workshops. So come back to us, because if you need us, we're here for you, and we're thinking about it and intentionally putting together programs to serve.
All right. Perfect.
Okay, well, that's a wrap, and we'll be back with lots more for you.
All right.
All right, bye.